Finish him!
Boom shakalaka!
Oh, man. That's got to be over 30 years ago. I'm pretty sure that's 1992. The original Mortal Kombat with Sega Genesis. Pretty sure I still remember the blood code. It's like ABACABB. You had to enter that in order for there to be blood when you played the game. If not, there was no blood. So, anyways, this is going to be the last video I make for the 3,000 hand challenge versus my buddy Anthony Joubert, because the challenge is officially over. He tapped out this week. I messaged him earlier in the week just to see what he was thinking, 1 or 2 tables, times, all that good stuff. And he said he's done. He's had enough. He's waving the white flag. So, and I don't blame him. I mean, obviously the match wasn't going his way. And just, I mean, he's playing a lot of poker as it is. He's a live player, schedules, this, that, and the other thing. And if it's starting to feel like an online grind and a commitment that you're not enjoying, then by all means, don't continue. So, yeah, so on April 1st, let me just switch it out here. He sent the buyout. So we had agreed that the buyout would be $500. And I know it says April 1st there in the little graphic. It's not an April Fool's joke. It was legit. He actually sent the $500. And yeah, match is over. And in the red circles there, I clearly changed the info. The reference number, none of your business. And the account number is a bunch of 1s and 0s. Totally made up. So anyway, I figured we'll dive in here. I will recap the match details for those that weren't following. We can do that right now. So let me turn this off, and we'll get into the recap. Let me get rid of those red circles. I'll put myself over here. So the challenge details, basically, I just wanted to play online in 2025. I like Thursdays, and I figured I'd try and get some heads up action. And that's what I was doing. I was just doing my own thing. And I guess Anthony caught wind of, me playing online. He reached out and said, let's play. I challenge you. Let's do like a little 3,000 hand challenge. So I said, sure, let's do it up. I accepted the challenge. He said around 3,000 hands. And again, it's not a lot of hands. It's a small sample size. But it's also not like 1 or 2 sessions either. So we did that. Stakes were 1-2. And the site that we chose was Play Now Poker. It's a Canadian site. I've been on Play Now for like 8 years, I guess. Anthony's been on there for years as well. We've crossed paths before. So it made sense to do the Play Now Poker website instead of like figuring out some app. I hate playing from my phone anyways. And then 1 or 2 tables. I think we did like 3 sessions, maybe with 2 tables. The rest all 1 table. And then I tossed in 2 clauses. Like, I mean, this is a friendly agreement between 2 buddies. The 2 clauses I made were the losing player can quit at the halfway point. So at 1,500 hands, tap out, no penalty. But if it's before that or after that, then there should be some sort of buyout, So we agreed to $500 as the buyout, which is what you guys just saw there. So, but yeah, you should always have, some sort of details worked out before venturing down these things, especially if the money gets up there, higher stakes, everything else. Like, this isn't a contract, but you do want to have all the details ironed out. It just makes everything run so much smoother as you head into the match there. So anyway, let's get into the results. If you guys want to know how it went, this is it. So let me take that off. And here we go. I'm gonna go back up here. So yeah, we played 6 sessions, and that is the grand total. A little over 2,000 hands, $6,460.76 in the green. And then as of April 1st, the $500 buyout I received. So $69.60 is is sort of the total there. We were pretty much doing 300 hands each session. I mean, both of us have kids. It's Thursday night. Usually it would take place at like 9 p.m., right? Play for 3 hours. Midnight was kind of our cutoff point because we're both up early for, Friday. So 300 hands, roughly 100 hands an hour there is what we did. And then we two-tabled a couple of times there as well. I'll show you. There's one other date in here, which I'll show you in a second. So in the bottom right corner, if you look, the challenge, I actually went back to the YouTube video, all of them, just to see how long we actually played for. So with all 6 sessions, it was around 16 hours of play. So I was averaging, $400 an hour, not a bad hourly. And then there's one warm-up session I'll show you right here, which lasted about 3 hours, and I won on that one as well. So let's do that now. I'm just going to zoom back out here. See if you guys can see. So if I go here, can you guys see that? Yeah, so like January 16th there. I'm going to click on that now. But that's basically the warm-up session we had. So if I include the warm-up session, we actually jumped into 2 tables at 50 cents a dollar right away. 468 additional hands puts us over 2,500 hands played. So total play, if we have 7 sessions, is a little over $7,000, and then $7,500 total for 2025 if you include the buyout. So that's basically the results. I'm going to dive into this number here. Like this has 149 BB per 100 hands. If we include the warm-up session, that's an absurd win rate. That is not sustainable at all. I mean, I think if you look back at the Doug Polk, Daniel Negreanu heads-up match from 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was, Doug won 1.2 million. And then if you look over the hands played, it was 25,000 hands. He beat Daniel at a win rate of 12 big blinds per 100. And he was winning, quite well. He destroyed him. So 149 is just absolutely ridiculous. I ran good during this challenge. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I ran really, really well. There's been other challenges and matches where I got destroyed. I did not run good. So yes, a big part of these results is I ran good in good spots. Big hand versus big hand versus big draw. My hand would hold up, so stuff like that. But a sizable chunk of also this profit is Anthony dusted off a ton of stacks that did not need to be, dusted. Like they're just punts, pure and simple, which we'll pull up a few in a minute here just to take a look. But, and then the rest, I mean, it's my best game. I've been playing this format for 20 years and continue to study. I love it. I think it's the best version of poker. You play the most hands. There's nowhere to hide. You got to be in there. You got to be sharp with your sizes. You got to know which spots and which hands make better bluffs and go for it and all of it. So yeah. So let's dive in. Let's take a look. I'm going to pull up a couple hands here. We'll get rid of that. Get rid of that one. I'm sorry, Anthony, if you're watching, but I gotta put the punt graphic up one last time. These ones weren't pretty. I'm not gonna let that graphic run the whole time. So hand number 1, I'm gonna zoom in here so you guys can see. But hand number 1, 4-betting king jack suited, and then calling the jam. Ugh, that one's a hard no. It's just a pure fold. So, couple things with that one. I mean, you shouldn't be 4-betting king jack suited. It's just such a nice hand to call as a 3-bet in position. And then the 4-bet size at 100 bigs is monstrous. What is it? 90 something, I think he goes to here. That's so big. It's more than 3x. And I have nothing against a big 4-bet size in position when the stacks are big. When the stacks are really deep, yeah, play bigger pots in position. But 100 bigs, you left yourself like no room to maneuver. You got half your stack in and then just called off king high. That one's a pure no-no. All right, let's look at number 2. 3-betting the 7-5 suited. I don't have these like timed so that when I pull it up, they're just on a continuous loop. But essentially, he 3-bet 5-7 suited. Bet the flop and jam the turn. Well, I'm calling with something. There's 2 overcards. You don't have a backdoor straight draw or a backdoor flush draw. So that's a bit of a punt there as well. All right, number 3. I can't explain this one. I 3-bet ace-10. He called in position. I bet the pot. Pot size bet here, essentially. Just a few bucks shy. And I get jammed on with queen-9 of diamonds. I don't know what to say about that one. That's just dusting off a stack for no reason at all. Anyway. All right, number 4. Let's take a look here. So he 3-bet king-jack suited. Here's me being lucky, drilling a set of 5s. He check calls the flop. Check calls the turn and then donk jams the river, which I don't understand at all. If you had a 10 or an overpair or hearts or like just anything, like I understand if maybe a heart comes and you want to rep hearts and at least have one in your hand, right? But you would bet a 10, you would bet an overpair, you would bet your heart draws. So now you jam when another 10 comes. That one doesn't add up. Yes, I had a set, but we're not talking about my hand. We're talking about the king jack jam. Number 4. Let's take a look at number 5 real quick. I do remember this one. This was session number 5, the very last hand after I drained the whole account. I think he lost 2,000 that session, and we were 2-tabling, got right down to 1 table. He's on uber mega tilt, limps the ace-8 offsuit on the button, and then rejams the whole thing. And of course, I widened my range at this point, so I called with ace-jack correctly. But yeah, there's just no need for it. You got to control that tilt. Last one here, number 6. This one, again, I'm not going to pretend I didn't get lucky. You can see I got running 2 pair, right? So I make the call here. But this is a 3-bet pot with 3 deuce offsuit. There's absolutely no need to 3-bet 3-2 offsuit. Now I get it. I get why you want to do it. We're buddies. We're just streaming. We're playing heads up, trying to do crazy shit so that you can show it down, one-upmanship, you know, show the big bluff, right? And I get like he's got a flush draw. Granted, my jack of diamonds blocks the flush draw. You can't win, and a gutter. But you put yourself in this situation for no need at all. You just really didn't have to. 3-2 is just a pure fold to an open pre-flop. Although, if you got the nut low on the river, and if you bet the turn, you kind of have a high-frequency river bet. So I can get behind the river bet. And again, maybe I fold if I don't have 2 pair, clearly, right? But there's just no need for it pre-flop. So anyway, that is the 6 that I pulled up just to kind of review. Like, I mean, that's what, 6 hands at $200 each one. So there's $1,200 of that profit there. So yes, I ran good and I held, and even I was like, hey, at some point he's going to start hitting more flush draws, and he never did, right? His draws just weren't coming in. But then you look at some of this stuff too. So a good chunk of it was me running hot. The other chunk of it was just dusting off stacks for no reason whatsoever. All right. One of the things I do want to look at is how I prepped for this. Okay. So let me just pull that up. And I mean, I have a baseline, but then again, I've never played Anthony for, you know, hundreds and hundreds of hands heads up online for deep stack cash if it gets to that or whatever. So I actually took the time to go through every single hand from the first session. So when we played that first match, those 300 hands, I went to his stream and looked up every single hand to see what the hell was going on. Because I don't know how he plays. And the better I can prepare, right? The better I can counter some of the strategies. Again, he said even in his streams, he's not studying. He's just over there clicking buttons. But I click buttons better than he clicked buttons. So let's take a look. I wrote down open folds. The only two open folds here, I think Jack 3 off is a fold. Jack 3? That might even be an open a portion of the time, but these are, you don't open fold these. These are all opens. Limping the button. I mean, it's okay to have a limping strategy. You do actually yield 10% more EV, I think, if you can implement it properly, having a button limp. But it just complicates your strategy because you need to be able to, you know, open aces, limp re-raise aces, right? But then you also have to do that as a bluff. You can't just ever do one thing too much and then never do it on the other side, right? Because you can get that figured out pretty quick against a good opponent. They'll pick it apart. Limp fold. So if he limps, I get to play 100% of my range, so thank you for that. But I have a raising strategy too versus the limp. I go 4.5 big blinds. And I noticed he folded ace 3 off and queen 8 off versus some of those raises. Just limp calling versus my 4.5 big blind raise. This match, he didn't limp re-raise. He did a little bit near the end. I remember a couple of them. Again, this is just the very first match. C-betting and limp pots. Nothing too crazy here. And then he had like 7 different button open sizes. Again, I'm sure he was just trying to mess with me because I don't know how to defend or play against all those different sizes. So sure, I have to make a million adjustments, but it also complicates your strategy a lot more too. So 2x open, 2.25x open, 2.75x open. I mean, the standard open is usually 2.3x or 2.5x. Those are kind of the standard opens. He had a 3x open in there at some point in later matches, and even a 3.5x open, just opening huge. When he opens this huge, I tighten up, but I 3-bet more. So, and then I noticed on the flop, he had kind of 2 sizes. He liked the 33% size, and he liked 75%. I think he overbet once, but that was just this match. But generally, the consistent sizes throughout the whole 6 matches was 33 and 75%. So I started trying to figure out how to play against that, what my cutoff points were. Single-rails pot, button checks the flop. So he checked with 9-8 on queen 6-5. I would have stabbed 30% pot with that hand, probably. Monotone flops. He folded a 6 to a min bet. So if you have 6-3 on king 7-6 to 1 big blind, which would be $2, you got to call with any piece there. Paired flops, different sizes he used on paired flops. A lot of paired flops like 30% size. So you can see on this one though, when he paired his 3, like on the 6-6-3, he used a bigger size. And then on ace-ace-queen, when he paired his queen, he used the bigger size. Turn probe, king 7 on ace-8-4-4. Kind of a weird probe with king high. It's probably good, but... And this is what I wanted to learn the most, because he donk bets. I don't play many players that donk bet. Lots of flops, lots of turns, and rivers. So I was trying to figure it out. And I know he picked up on it. On some of the videos he played back, I heard him say, you know, bottom 2. Bottom 2 was what I'd, like this one here, 4-6 on jack 6-4. He was donking that. So he heard me say that, but I'd also picked up on all of it because I looked at all of these things. So weak draws, 2 overs and a gutter. Bottom 2. Middle pair once in a while, he'd donk. The weak draws, like a gutter. A lot of weak top pairs. In this case, it happens to be the best top pair, like, you know, ace-6. But a lot of times it would be top pair, medium kicker, or weak kicker. He's got 10-8 off. Yes, it's open-ended, but he doesn't have the flush draw to go with it. A lot of these paired flops we just showed up here, I guess, where it was, these ones, leading a lot of that unpaired card, right? Top pair big draw, right? Pair open-ended. Really big draw, right? Gut shot and a flush draw. Queen 10 on 10-5-3 rainbow, right? Another top pair, okay-ish kicker. Weak pair big draw, like pair and a flush draw. Anyways, these are all the types of hands I saw and the sizes for the donk bet. So I was trying to figure out what my strategy would be, right? He mainly leads draws, right? it's a lot of draws and 2 pair. Like, there's no sets or top pair top kicker because he's checking, hoping I put more money in the pot. So often, very often, it was a draw. Like, most of the time, it was a draw. So how do I counter that? Well, if I have any value, I'm just going to start raising. Or if I have a bigger flush draw or the nut flush draw, I'm going to start raising because he just wasn't letting go. He was playing all of the draws, right? So that was kind of it. I was looking at my different adjustments, flush draw, all the different boards. So I made myself a game plan. Anyways, we don't need to go through the rest, but yeah, what he flat called, some of the folds, what he was check raising. He had small 3-bet sizes, big 3-bet sizes, what he did in those 3-bet pots, what sizes he used. Anyway, I don't know why I put soul read here. I think I called out a hand once or twice. He did that many times after watching the other streams as well. But point is I just wanted to show you guys, I actually took the time to prep and study a little bit to figure out what was going on. And this is what you should be doing. A good player will do this. If you have access to the other person's cards, because we're streaming, you can go figure out what they're doing. And that's just a huge, huge advantage if you're willing to put in the time and the effort to figure out what's going on. So yeah, overall, I mean, he has the heart of a lion, man. He went in there and he gave it his all, but just a lot of tilt. There was mega tilt in there. And then, especially the top pairs and the draws. He went to town with every top pair and every draw. And I get it if it's a 3-bet pot and then you got like the flush draw. If you make it, you're probably good. But jamming every flop, a lot of times it was just, if I'm going all the way anyways, I'm all in. It's like you could play it in a few of the other lines, the check back line, the check line. You can fold a few. Most of them just was mash the all in button. So I would not do that for future reference. But all right, let's take a look at a few other things. I will pull up here. Turn off the studying one. All right. So if you do want to see any of the other matches, I mean, it's all right here on the Card Shark Exchange. This is the little YouTube channel that I had. This is what I was streaming at. These are all the other videos, but the playlist is right here. Just go to the hit playlists, view full playlist, and you can see all 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's all from my perspective. And then I actually took the time to record the side-by-side videos with both of our streams going at the same time, so you can see both players' hole cards and hear the commentary from both players. So that's all there as well. There's a couple other things. If you did want to see, like Anthony, I mean, I give him props for just battling his heart out and issuing a challenge, trying new things. And he's done it quite a few times over the years. I mean, I've been playing with him for a long time. He had a challenge here. Look at this. This is already 4 years ago. This is versus Chris Cramp match. And me and Musey are in the booth announcing. They're using the Poker 2 app. But so he's battled Chris in the app. And then I think there was another one here too. We go back. Played live. It was more of a sit and go format. Yeah, you can see here. Here's me and Chris now announcing. Chris is not playing this time. He's in the booth with me announcing. And this is my attempt at streaming with hole card cams live. This is Scotch tape and bubblegum. But yeah, Anthony in there again. I think it was 2,000 each they put up. They battled. He was playing Carl there. So good times. But yeah, we keep coming up with a different version and a new way to play and battle against each other. So anyways, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. That's the wrap. That's the results. The challenge is over. I am looking forward to summer and playing some live poker. I've been grinding online for quite some time this winter. Let me just put on. There. My ending slide. That's from last summer. I played every Thursday pretty much with Anthony, and I crushed a couple of the nights really big. Got crushed a couple of times. But yeah, Anthony, thanks for watching, man. Thanks for battling. I enjoyed it. I know the results weren't what you wanted, but you keep it interesting, my man. You really do. I learned a lot also. Like, I mean, when you start putting, that's the one good thing, I guess, with Play Now. There's not many sites left that give you the true mano a mano heads up. They're all Zoom pools. You get a new player, right? Yes, it's heads up, but it's a pool of like 100 players. So the ability to just play one guy on one or two tables or however many you agree to and start figuring out, like, you know, is he on tilt? Is he in the zone? What's going on? Metagame, that last hand, this hand. What if I go all in on both tables and one's a bluff and one's the value? Like, you just can't get that on any other sites anymore. So, I mean, it was fun, and thanks for battling, man. Thanks for issuing the challenge. I'm sure I'm sure you learned a ton too, and I can't wait to play this summer live. So, all right, guys, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the wrap up video, but that's it. I'm out. Peace.